What's happening, Chevelle? Alright, Crazy Boy's going to sit in the background and just give me the shout-outs. But anyway, hey, I want to tell you, when I first saw this band back in 2012 at the Buffalo Chip, they were awesome. They kicked some ass. Oh no, not Brianna. Now my heart's pumping. I'm sorry. Oh no, not Brianna. Now my heart's pumping.
Under the stars, I feel so far away. And closer to you is where I want to be. And missing you as far as I can see. Just a longing. I see your face in a crowded scene. I see your face in everything. No matter what form you seem to take, still a longing, longing. Over and over I remind myself. Every time you show me how you feel, every time you tell me this is real, there's no way that I could ever keep this a secret. You're amazing, amazing. Every day I fall in deep. Deeper with you is where I keep all the promises I couldn't keep, but I want to. Over and over I remind myself. Every time you show me how you feel, every time you tell me this is real, there's no way that I could ever keep this a secret. You're amazing. I can't sleep, my eyes are wide open, 'cause I don't wanna ever miss a moment. I will never go another day without saying you're amazing. Yeah, you changed my life around, and I couldn't change it. You lifted me up when I was down. I'm just saying. Tell me how you feel. Tell me this is real. There's no way that I could ever keep this a secret. You're amazing. I can't sleep, my eyes are wide open, 'cause I don't wanna ever miss a moment. I will never go another day without saying you're amazing.
Alright, I'd do it again. I don't know about you.
Crawling out right now, I'm looking back. Flying way too high and way too fast. It's hard to come down without a crash, but there ain't no doubt I've had plenty of good times, bad times.
Hello.
Is this Dillenger?
Yes, it is.
Hey, bud, Scott Bartlett.
Hey, how you doing, Scott?
I'm good. I wasn't sure what time zone we were. My time is right at 7. I was told 8. So, what time do you want to do this?
Actually, I answered the phone live, so we're live now.
Nice.
I'm actually playing one of the couple of the other tunes right now. I'd Do It Again is playing.
Oh, right on, man. I haven't heard that one in a long time, man.
Right. So
I'm actually pulling into Memphis right now. I'm driving back from Nashville. Like kind of writing session with our producer who worked on that Crack in the State with us.
Okay. Great.
Yeah.
I was just telling everybody, I actually first saw you guys back in 2012 at Buffalo Chip in Sturgis.
Now, was that the year Steven Tyler fell off the stage?
Yeah. I actually have a little flash that says Sturgis 2012, the year Steven Tyler fell off the stage.
What are the chances, man? We played the show, and then Hinder, our good friends in Hinder, had come in a day early, and we caught the very beginning of Aerosmith set, and then we went over to the Hinder bus, and we were hanging out, partying, and all of a sudden there were, like, choppers flying in, and we were like, whoa, what's going on? And it was like, dude, he's hurt. He fell off the stage. So that was an interesting year.
Yeah, that was pretty wild. I actually used to work for another radio station, and we were the official radio station for the Buffalo Chip. Since then I've branched out on my own and partnered up with another guy. So we're actually broadcasting tonight off of 2 radio stations, one out of Canada and mine here out of the United States. So I see you joined the band, or original member, or 2000.
We still have 3 of us.
2004, correct?
Yeah, well, it was, we write 04 on the, we didn't like partner up and get our, our name or anything until closer to 06. That's kind of where we like to say everything started, because before then it was just trial and error and writing songs. I remember the day it became official was the day we officially needed a name, because we had to create a MySpace page and we had a gig book, so we had to decide on something. That was an 06.
Right. Yeah, I kind of see that. Actually, Wikipedia sometimes can be good and sometimes it can be bad. So
could not agree more with you.
What cracks me up is a lot of times you'll read these things and it's got an edit button where people can actually edit your Wikipedia page. So,
well,
like
maybe we should get on that.
Yeah, I interviewed Eric Moore from the Gods the other night, and both of us were actually on his Wikipedia page, and it was nothing about the Gods. It was about a totally different band. So,
it's funny. He came to I had somebody ask me for an EPK the other day. I was like, whoa, you're going back there.
Right.
It's all just so, the world has gotten so simplified, but it's actually, to me, it makes everything more difficult. Call me old-fashioned.
Right. So then you said where are you pulling into now?
Memphis, Tennessee, where I call home. I just drove from Nashville. I drove down there this morning. It's about a 3-hour drive. Went to our old producer's house to put down some ideas for some new music, and I'm pulling back in, and the road crew are on their way in the tour bus to my house, where they're going to stop for the night, and then we're going to pick everybody up tomorrow and head out on the road.
Yeah, you guys are in, Beaumont, Texas next?
Yep, so we got a long drive to Beaumont, so we're going to try to chip away at it tomorrow and get about halfway there. stop off somewhere in Texas, and then finish up the drive on Friday to meet up with the tour, get started.
Great. Yeah, you guys are in my neck of the woods in September in Philadelphia.
All right. I love Philadelphia, man. I was really sad to hear that. Well, I was in Allentown, but the Crop Rock shut down.
Right.
That was a really cool venue.
Yeah, you guys are playing the Electric Factory in Philadelphia.
That's a cool room.
Yeah, it's pretty nice. I like it where it's not too crowded. You can actually enjoy yourself.
Yeah, man. I mean, this tour is going to be really interesting, I think, because, you know, some of these rooms, I mean, one of the places, I actually grew up not far from where you're talking about. I grew up in Baltimore.
Oh, okay.
And one of my first concerts ever was Little Feat opening for the Allman Brothers Band at Pier 6. And this tour is playing Pier 6, and that's like, you know, a 7,000-seater. And then the next night, we're at a bar that can't hold more than 450. So we're just going to be all over the spectrum, man. And I kind of dig that. I like to get fresh like that. So I think it's going to be a good one.
Yeah, I mean, it lets you be able to put a little bit more, you know, heart and soul into it.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I'm actually in Dover, Delaware, so I know where Baltimore's at, you know.
We should say Maryland all the time.
Yeah, exactly. So, tell us a little bit about the band. You know, I know you got a lot of followers. Actually, you know, I sent an email out to, Melissa, and she's going to send in some promo packs for some giveaways and all. But you guys started so-called 2004. And you said there's 3 of you original members left?
Give you kind of like a timeline for all of it, like the abridged version. We hit pretty hard in 06, and we hadn't written Addicted yet. But the beginnings of the first album were pretty much done. Addicted was actually the last song we wrote on that record. We sparked the interest of a few labels, and a management company picked us up. It was Scott Frazier and Rick Smith, who had the ear of Jason Blum over at Capitol Records. And the story goes that we were on his radar, and I don't know how true this is, but this is like folklore. He was on the 18th green when my manager played him Addicted over the phone. He was like, "That's the one, sign him right now." And when Addicted hit, the world just kind of exploded for us. You know, because of that song, I have like gold and platinum records. And we were just off to the races, tour. Everybody wanted a piece of us, and it kept us really busy. And we didn't know that we had a #1 song. We were still in a band. We were just playing so many shows. And then gradually we started to learn that we were becoming something, because we ended up in a bus. And then our next single, 18 Days, went top 5. And then we followed that up with Drowning, which was another top 5. So then before we knew it, we were the first band in 10 years that had 3 top 5 songs on the first record. And at that point, we were definitely somebody. We took a break after 2 years. I was basically gone for 2 years of my life. Then I came back, and we started working on the second record, which also produced 3 top 10s, which were Stupid Girl, Sex is Good, and Miss America, which was an ode to the military. And that led us overseas to do some USO stuff. That was about another 2 years of our life. And then we had the third record, and at that point we had agreed to part ways with Virgin Capital. It was amicable. They wanted us to go in a direction that we didn't really want to go in, so it was cool. And we went with an independent label by the name of E1, which was a mistake. We shouldn't have done that, by the way. At that point, we put out the third record, Bringing Down the Giant, and that record was sort of a crucial era for us. I think it was at that point that we decided that we'd been through the ringer, we'd been through labels, we'd been through management. We kind of thought to ourselves, we should really be doing this on our own. So we walked away from E1, and since then, it got a little squirrely because we had to really educate ourselves on how this business worked with booking agents and, press and consultants. And that was in about 2014, I believe. And at that point, it got a little discouraging, and our singer actually left the band because he was afraid he was going to lose. He was afraid he was missing out on watching his kids grow up. Which is respectable. It's a full-time gig being in Saving Abel. And, the year he left, we scooped up Scotty Austin and his drummer Stephen Pulley. And it's a good thing Jared Weeks left because we played 306 shows that year.
Wow.
In 2015, all while writing another record. And the interim between that split was where you got the songs Crack in the Face. Those songs were all B-sides that we accrued over the years. And we knew we had to put something out. So we put that out without the help of a label, and for that we think it kind of suffered. I think that's the discouraging part where Jared decided he was going to split and be a family man. Then with Scotty and Steven, we put out Bloodstained Revolution and just released it ourselves. And that didn't really have too much success either. We feel that was, it's a great record. It's just really hard to push stuff on your own. You know what I mean? Takes a lot of relationships and ultimately just a lot of money and promotional items in order to get songs to where they need to be on radio.
Right.
So, with all that being said, we're diligently looking into the next plan of attack. We've got a string of hits, so we're always going to be able to perform live, and that's how rock bands make their money these days anyway. Nobody buys albums.
Right.
So, like I said, I literally just walked into my house. I drove from Nashville back home to Memphis, where I was just working on some music with Skid Mills, our first-time producer, the guy that helped write Addicted. We went back to him to do a batch of songs, and we'll see how those go. Apart from that, we embark on this tour tomorrow called Make America Rock Again, which is with about 7 bands, the likes of Trapped, Saliva, Us, Alien Ant Farm, Crazy Town, Tantric, and 12 Stones.
Now is
about 42 shows.
Is Drowning Pool and Puddle of Mud going to join them? I know they were trying to get them on that tour.
Yeah, they're on. If you look at the site, it says select dates.
Right.
So I imagine they're probably doing some writing, and they can't just commit to a full 10-week tour.
Right.
That's 2.5 months. It's kind of a if you're in the middle of writing a record, that's a long time to just go away. Get those creative juices back. So we decided to not do a full length. We just wanted to see what it was like to work with a kid again and do about 3 songs. So we've been gearing up for this tour for quite some time. We're definitely ready for it.
Well, I see your 15 Minutes of Fame song is actually kicking some ass now.
Yeah, man. That's we shot that video 2 years ago. We just sat on it. And then I almost forgot we had it. So I saw it and I was like, holy crap. Like, I didn't even know we were going to put it out. I saw it on our Facebook page and I was as surprised as everybody. I usually do a lot of the posts.
Right.
I was like, what the hell is this?
Right. Yeah, I'm sitting here reading this, and you were talking, when you first called in, you were talking about how, you're good friends with Hinder. And then if you read, you're sitting here reading it where, they're talking about, allegations, there was a rivalry between the two of you guys. You just love how the media works.
Well, I talked to Cody about that. And he was like, man, you have to understand, we were the hot ticket for a while. And then you guys came around, and you were the hot ticket. And we thought, let's take a stab at these guys. He was like, we didn't know you were going to be, cool.
Yeah.
We didn't even know. And, so we ended up, it was funny because they took a stab at us. And then we were doing a show about the Fight Network in Canada. They were like, if there was one band you could beat up, or say something to, what would it be? And I was like, tell Hinder we'll see him in the Octagon. And then it just turned into this, build over, and we play it up, man. They got us good. The most recent prank they got us on, was we were both playing in Omaha, Nebraska, and we weren't on the same bill. It was like we were both playing different rooms and ultimately competing. Cody and I are texting like, man, it's like we should be on the same bill. We're both going to have split crowds or whatever. And the radio station they were doing an interview at was like, do you know your friends in Saving Abel are in town? And Cody goes, oh, you didn't hear? Saving Abel broke up. They're not even going to be there. Like and my phone started, dude, are you guys here? Like, I just heard you broke up. And I was like, what?
Right.
So Cody got us good on that one. But actually, after that, we were playing a few shows with them, and we unleashed 500 crickets on their bus right before they went home. So their tour manager was like, dude, I was pulling crickets out of my jock for like the next 3 weeks.
That's crazy. Yeah, because you guys were on tour with them for a while with Nickelback and Hinder and Papa Roach. That was back in 2009. I remember.
Yeah, that was a fun tour. This was the Porn Star Dancing tour. It was us and what was that band called? Who did Porn Star Dancing?
Oh my God, it's my wife's favorite song, and I'm blank.
Those Canadian boys.
Yeah.
Crazy Canadian boys.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, the singer ended up singing for 3 Days Grace. Anyway, them, us, and Hinder. That was the tour that we did the crickets on.
So what was some of your craziest shows? My Darkest Days is the band.
My Darkest Days. That's it.
Yeah.
There you go. I mean, there were times when a song like Addicted hits and everybody wants a piece of you. It's very crazy, and when you've never seen anything like it, you don't even know what the norm is anymore. And I can remember playing at like Rock on the Range in front of 30,000 people, and then literally having to get a police escort so we could bury the needle of the bus doing 90 miles an hour and make it to another festival. And we made it with like 4 minutes to spare, opening for Shinedown. And those are friends of mine, they're guitar players from Memphis also. So that was just I kind of realized that I'd arrived at that point, or the band had arrived, and that, things might start being a little different. And at that point, that summer, I think it was 2008, we were on every festival. The most people I saw was reportedly 62,000 at Rockfest.
Wow.
Those are just the kind of shows that you just, dream about. I mean, opening for Aerosmith was obviously incredible.
Right. Well, you guys even had a busy year in 2011 when you did the Guantanamo Bay Army prison. Then you had barbecues, cook-offs, motorcycle rallies, state fairs. Then you guys...
Oh, question, because it's all part of the norm for me at this point. Nothing really surprises me anymore. You just kind of get acclimated, I guess. Not complacent. When you get complacent is when it's time to give it up. I'm still very thankful. But I've seen a lot of crazy, crazy things, man.
I'm sure you have. Now, do you do any of the writing of the songs?
Yes. We do a lot of, we got to play to our strengths. I'm definitely like a riff guy. Jason has a knack for writing hooks. We all write our own parts. So where I come in the most handy when it comes to writing would probably be like the riffs and like the decorations on the Christmas tree, all the like flourishes of guitar stuff, all the guitar solos that you hear of me. And on the first records, Jared was a big part of the writing process because he was the singer. I feel that the singer always needs to be a big part of whatever you're doing because he's the one ultimately that's singing it, so he should have a hand in the melody. If I've ever got an idea that I feel really strongly about and I have to present it to a singer, I'll be like, would you just try this, But for the most part, I feel that, if somebody's really steadfastly against the words because they have to sing it, I try to keep an open mind. And that's why we're all guilty of getting a little bit too attached to our song. I brought an idea to Skid just now, and he changed it, and I was like, really? Really? And then he played it back for me and explained what he was thinking, and I was like, okay. Okay, I hear you, because I've been playing it the same way for 7 months.
Right.
You know, my ears were just used to hearing it a certain way. But yes, I definitely do a lot of the writing. I'm not the lion's share of the writing. I get a lot of ideas across, and we're just all evolving and learning as writers, and as we should. We all three of the primaries, Scotty, Jason, and myself, just individually went in and showed our ideas to Skid. We're going to hit the road and let him kind of mess around with them and send us what he thinks he could do with them and go from there.
Right. Now, I see, like, some of the names of some of these songs are pretty crazy, like Michael Jackson's Jacket.
That's a funny one. That was actually, Jason wrote that about me because I have a clothing line, and I have this jacket that I used to wear everywhere. It's like a really pimped out jacket. It took like a year and a half for my business partner at the time's mom to stitch every thread. And I used to just get hammered and leave it everywhere. I've left that thing in like 12 different cities, but I've always found it and had it shipped back to me. And Jason was like, man, there needs to be a song about that. Call it Scott Bartlett's Jacket. And he had this like weird groove, and then I was just like, man, who am I? You ought to make that something different. And I mean, it was before Michael Jackson passed that he wrote it. So it's kind of funny. And then we were listening to guitar solos. We were going to try to channel that Eddie Van Halen solo. It was just a fun song. It's kind of a party song. I don't think that was on the third record, and that was a direction that I felt that got a little compromised, trying to cross over to that hot AC and mainstream markets, and that's an alternative, and that's just not where we live. We're an active rock band, and we're Southern, you know.
Right. Now, what was one of your, favorite songs to write, or do you have, I mean, a lot of people don't really, I don't have a favorite, they're all good.
I can tell you that. We've had plenty of bad ideas. But there's one called Constantly at the end of the third record. And it meant a lot to me, one, because I played piano on it. And producer was like, now hold on. He's like, are you just doing this for your pride? Or what? Because he's like, we don't have a ton of time for you to come in and like learn how to play piano. And I was like, man, I can do it. I know I can do it. And I got it on the first take. And there's beautiful guitar interplay with it. And then there's like, I always call it the Freebird ending, because Jason and I just go crazy on the leads. So it's just kind of got something for everybody, and it tells a good story about, those kind of friends that are few and far between, that like, no matter where you are in life, if you happen to catch back up, you fall right back into where you were before. It's called Constantly. So it's just like, it really tells a good story, and then sonically, I'm really proud of the way it came out too. So I'd say Constantly is probably one of my favorites.
All right, that's great. Now, you guys, how many, is the list that's on your site now, is that the full tour, or is it missing? I mean, you guys got a lot of dates I'm looking at. All the way up until October 26th.
Yep. And, some of those are headlining shows where we're going to deviate from the tour, just stuff that we've had booked for a while. But this one's going to keep us pretty busy, brother.
I see that. You're in Virginia, then you're up in Maryland, all the way up to Philly, and then you go back down to Virginia.
Yeah.
What's one of your favorite venues to play?
I really like the Machine Shop in Flint, Michigan.
Okay.
That's always been a favorite of mine. I really love any bike rally. Sturgis has always been fun. The Gorge out there in Washington, that's beautiful. It's kind of like Red Rocks.
Right. I'm trying to get everything situated here to head out to Sturgis this year.
Nice.
Like I said, I branched off on my own with my own radio station, so now I'm working with Fajita Mike and, you know, them guys out there at the new Full Throttle. So we're going to try to become the official radio station of the Full Throttle. Then I do most of the bike tours. We do Daytona Bike Week, Biketoberfest in October, Colonial Beach, Virginia show. So I'm all over also. Last year, for the last 4 years, it's been every month I was in a different state. So just broadcasting live at different concerts.
We'll be at that Daytona thing too.
Well, that's great. Like I said, I'm actually going to have I'm going to try to bring the radio station up there to the Philadelphia at the Electric Factory. So, you know, we do have tickets for that. We're going to try to get it all depends on how the donations go, get the meet and greet tickets. So that way, you know, we can talk to a lot of the bands behind the scene.
Sounds awesome. I mean, this is really actually a very important part of this whole thing. Is I've learned over the years, you know, these interviews go a long way because, you know, the people want to know that you're regular people and, you know, you ultimately say dumb things too. You know, I certainly don't always say the right thing.
Oh yeah, I did terrestrial radio, FM radio for a couple years, but I kind of turned towards the internet thing because once you get out of a certain area, you lose that station. So now with the internet, I mean, you got it. It's actually worldwide now. So you go to that radio station's website and it's playing live 24/7. You know, right now out of Canada, I think he's got like 20 something listeners, and I got like 47, 48. And I got another 22 that are outside of the country. I got some in Brazil, Australia, the UK, Denmark, Norway, and one over in Mauritius, which is on the other side of Africa. So, I mean...
Wow, man.
Yeah, it actually goes out pretty far. So, you know, and I have fun doing it, you know, sitting at home. It beats being out in the bar, taking a chance of getting that good old DUI. So I sit home, broadcast, and then, like I said, at least 1 or 2 weekends a month I'm out on the road doing live shows. But I'd definitely like to get up with you guys at one of your live shows, you know, and do some behind the scenes things.
Lives, you know, I'm a big time live guy. I'm a huge fan of the Allman Brothers Band. So I pitched that this year we start recording our live shows and put out a DVD or something. Because I want people to be able to catch the full experience and not just be up on our singles, but be up on what we're about, you know.
Right. Well, I mean, not only, like I was just telling you about the Full Throttle, we are the actual Sturgis Hall of Fame. We're their official radio station. So, you know, we'll be broadcasting live out there. What's that?
You probably know, like, Johnny Dare and all them, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, Johnny's a good friend of mine. You know, and he's been great over the years too. I've asked him singles before to be like, man, what do you think about this? He'll tell me his honest opinion, you know.
Right. Yeah, and then I work with a bunch of different bands, trying to book them, you know, area shows. I do a little bit of work with Moccasin Creek and Moonshine Bandits, trying to get them guys local shows in different venues. I have a cousin that's actually the lead guitar player for the UFO right now, Vinnie Moore. I've been trying to get him to bring UFO to Sturgis, but they're busy. They're doing that European tour stuff. So everybody.
Yeah, man, I got asked. We were supposed to be on Sturgis. I mean, they really hit us up hard about it, but we couldn't. This tour starts like right when, you know, like this week. And Sturgis is starting this week, so it's really hard to be, I have found, in South Dakota and Texas at the same time.
Yeah, it's a little bit of a distance.
Yeah.
It's 1,792 miles from me, and I did it in 27 hours. I stopped for a little while up in Ohio and then took right back off.
That's rock and roll right there.
It's a little, you know, it puts a toll on you after a while. I can imagine having to play cities every other night like you guys. That would be just a killer.
You know, when we rebranded the band with Scotty singing, we opted to do it in a van instead of a bus. And that was just tough, man. But, you know, we worked hard, and after about a year, we jumped back over to the bus. And we were like, all right, let's never go back there again. Because it's just, you know, you can't get in an argument with somebody and then sit there and stare at the back of their head for 8 hours.
Right. So, not without pulling off to the side and some blows and then a few beers.
Yep, that's how it goes, man.
So, you guys are going to take a break tonight and then head back out on the road tomorrow?
Well, we're not even, I mean, I think the crew is supposed to get to my house sometime late in the middle of the night. But the pickup is here in Memphis, because we're heading southwest. And we'll hit the road probably tomorrow around noon and drive as far as we can. Stay the night somewhere down there in East Texas. And then finish the drive up on Friday so we can make it to our first show.
Yeah, I see you got an 8-city tour in Texas. Have you ever played the Gas Monkey live?
I have not played it, but I have seen, I forget who I saw there, maybe it was Candlebox. It's a cool room. I've got a lot of friends in Dallas, so I've been there. And we should have a huge turnout in Dallas.
I'll have to hook you up with
We're good.
I have to hook you up with Greg Golden. He's got Bizarre Guitars there in Reno. He's got a He's got a studio where bands come in and just do little jams and interviews. He's got his own little TV station and everything right there. It's the largest guitar store supposedly in the country. And right now, him and Paul Holgate are working together, doing a band. But he's got some awesome guitars. I've been down there a couple times, and he was a sponsor for the radio station for a little while. He's an awesome guy. I'll text you his number. You can get up with him.
I'd appreciate that, man.
But so you want to tell everybody about your website and how to get your albums or CDs or?
Your best bet, honestly, we use Facebook a lot. So just look up Saving Abel on Facebook. And all of our other information is filtered through there. And you could go to the site, but all the links are on Facebook. So if you just go to Facebook and look up Saving Abel, you'll find everything. We got like 800,000 fans and followers on there. I'd like to add that we do it ourselves. So if you want to say hello, somebody from the band will say hello back. Might take us a minute to get to it, but we pride ourselves on that. Now, minus the video. I did just tell you all about the video. My manager posted that. But you can't exactly get mad at him because it's been seen like 500,000 times. So
Right.
Kudos to him.
Yeah, Ryan.
Yeah, everything is on Facebook.
Yeah, Ryan answered me on Facebook, and then Melissa answered the email for me. I got a question from someone in Canada. They want to know if you're planning any tours in Canada.
But we weren't sure. We had a little bit of a legal scare with that. We had Scotty was like, man, the only place I can't go, I think, might be Canada. But we looked into it, and he's okay. He got into a little bit of trouble there a long time ago.
Canada's beautiful and a great place to party. It's easy to get in, but it's hard as hell to get out if you have anything on you in the States.
Yeah, man, when we went on tour with Nickelback, they flagged Chad Kruger Like we went in the frickin' office and went right through it. He was just sitting there like a few boys on the other side.
Right.
But yeah, the answer is yes, we will be there. We're looking into it. We haven't gone anywhere internationally or over there since the rebranding. We wanted to get everything tight before we brought this unit over there. And I can honestly say Saving Abel's tighter than we've ever been. And yes, we will absolutely be in Canada as soon as you all decide to bring us over there.
That's great. And you said you are working on a new album now, or you're going to start working on one?
We've already got some ideas. We've got a few songs that are basically done. And we just want to get it right this time. We don't want to hurry it. So yes, you'll be hearing new music from Saving Abel very soon.
That's great. You're going to keep your same type tempo, or?
I don't see us changing it up, you know. I mean, we like rock and roll, and we like rock and roll from the South. I mean, that's kind of what we do, so.
That's great.
Don't fix it if it ain't broke, you know.
Exactly, because, I mean, you see some of the, I mean, even like Van Halen or whatever, then sometimes they'll put out a slower, tempo or a slower melody album, and it just doesn't do as great. And like you said,
you know, our songs straddle the fence between like rock and roll and party and sex, and then, you know, when songs like Drowning, you know, when it just seems like life can't get any harder, you know, just pick yourself up, dust yourself off, and keep on forging forward, you know, those kind of songs of hope. We just write about what we know about, you know. So the Saving Abel songs, what you see is what you get. And I'm fine with that.
That's great. So, well, I don't want to keep you too long. Like you said, you've been out on the road. I want to thank you guys for stopping in, for you stopping in and taking a few minutes out of your time. You know, hopefully me and Melissa talked, and as soon as when it gets closer to you guys being in Philadelphia, you know, see if we can do another interview, you know, with you, or hopefully with, you know, a couple of you guys at the same time, and promote the Philadelphia show a little bit more.
Down, brother.
All right. Well, can you give us a shout out?
Yeah, man.
All right. Go for it.
Chasing. Well, I'm a little hard up, scarred up, but I'm still kicking some dust up in the wind. And I do it again.
That's fine.
All right. Hit it.
What's up out there at Radio Land? This is Scott from Saving Abel, and you are rocking out with MyRadio.Rocks and Crazy Boy Radio. Dig it.